Yo everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Steins Gate 0. Fubuki was in a different location than before. This time it was the AH Tokyo General Hospital High-Tech Medical Center in Yoyogi. It was supposed to be one of Japan's most advanced hospitals. According to what I read on the internet, patients with the new encephalitis that everyone was talking about were being gathered here for a special treatment. But I also read that a lot of really bad urban legends about the place. It was a bit weird. It was a bit worried about what kind of horror show I'll find there. Urban legend. Rumors whose sources is unknown or unclear, usually dating from the 20th century or later. They can be divided into ghost stories, occult stories, and folklore, but lately the boundaries between these three categories have become vague. Urban legends range from short, silly stories that stories to the terrifying and nightmarish, and all of them are told as if they really happened. Examples of urban legends include the Japanese story of Hanako-san, the stories about the shadow people, or the stories of the Men in Black. It's interesting they class them usually dating from the 20th century or later. I guess before then they were called myths, which is weird to think about. Anywho, but I also read... oh, right, yeah. But of course, when we arrived, it was nothing like that. It was very clean and decorated like a luxury hotel. Just the kind of place that they'll want you to think it is before they experiment on you. Mayuri, Okurin, this way. Sup? Katie and Yuki waved at us as we entered the lobby. Yuki had gotten a message from Katie as well, and had evidently came right over. Where's Fubuki? She's fine. Yuki gave Mario a short hug and smile. Katie bowed her head apologetically. Sorry to scare you. I was kind of in a hurry myself. I should have checked more carefully before I messaged you. What do you mean? How's Nasuke doing? I just met her mom in the hospital room, and it doesn't look like her illness has gotten any worse. And they just brought her here for examinations or something? Yes, that's what they said, so there's nothing to worry about. Oh, I'm so glad. That is relief. Mario looked extremely relieved as Yuki continued to hug her. If I remember right, the last time they examined her, they said it was possible that she had a disease, but as long as it didn't get worse, it wouldn't affect her daily life. And they told her to come back for regular checkups. The new encephalitis that arrived in Japan over 6 months ago, but the number of patients was still increasing. Fortunately, there hadn't been a single casualty yet. I'm pretty sure that's no illness, though. I was certain that they, what they were calling encephalitis was actually something similar to read in Steiner. One time when I went to visit Fubuki in the hospital, I had secretly investigated the other patients. I wasn't able to get any proof, but I found that most of them patients in a wing had, to a varying degree, memories of the same world line. Many people had memories of Japan at war. Can we see Fubuki? They say they're doing an MRI to look at her brain right now, so she's not in her room. I see. But it'll be done soon. Fubuki's mom told us to wait here. Katie motioned to Mayuri, indicating that she should sit down at a nearby sofa. Once the exam is done, she's going to come get us. I let the girl sit down on the sofa and stood next to them while I surveyed the lobby. This is an amazing hospital, isn't it? Yeah. Is Nakase... I can't even say English. I'm even trying Japanese. Family really rich or something? If she's staying in a place like this? No, that's not it. Fubuki's mom said that the Japanese and the American government are paying for a new treatment project. It's going to be centered around this lab and a dedicated hospital in America, supposedly. I see. I wasn't sure how I felt about that. If I was right about what the disease really was, it was hard to imagine a bigger waste of money. Unless they're examining stuff with time travel. Please give all the patients private rooms and keep the rooms as far apart from one another as possible to ensure patients don't come into contact. But there aren't that many open rooms. I feel like we know that voice. You need to do it anyway. If the patients talk to each other, they'll start to share their dreams, right? Sure, that's true, but once a person hears something about someone else's dream, their brain can trick themselves into thinking that that dream as well. Yeah. Across the lobby, I saw an old Japanese doctor in white coat and a big man in a suit who was frantically trying to talk to him. Oh? I've seen that man in a suit before. Actually, it was a man I knew well. Professor Linskin? I hurried over. Dr. Linskin, it's me, Okabe. He must have been wearing his translator because he was communicating with the old doctor in Japanese. Dr. Linskin's face quickly broke into a smile when he saw me. Oh, Lintaro! His voice was so loud that everyone in the lobby, doctors, nurses, staff, and even the patients turned to look at me. But Dr. Linskin didn't seem to notice as he ran over. He was like a giant American football player racing for a touchdown. Wait, Professor, please stop! My cries were unheard as Dr. Linskin tackled me and then pulled me up. Then he switched from football player to pro wrestler and swung me up and down. I felt like I was a little child. There was nothing I could do to resist him as he flung me around. A moment later, he noticed the cold stares of the people around us and finally released me. Oh my, I'm sorry, I was so surprised, I got a little too excited. Dr. Linskin bowed to the people around him apologetically. Dr. Linskin, who is this young man? The doctor that Professor Linskin had been talking to stared at me suspiciously. Oh, I wasn't sure exactly what to tell him. It wasn't like he was really my professor. You see, you seem to be a student. Which school are you with? If you study in brain science like the professor... No, he'll be a student at Victor... Oh. Whoa. Would it be handy to, tell Okabe this? He'll be a student at Victor this summer, September. I'm planning on having him come to my lab. Huh? I see. Victor University, eh? That's a surprise. I look over at Dr. Linskin questioningly, but he just gave me a mischievous smile. This guy. He really was such a kid. Who is evil. Evil! I was pointing at the screen as they said that. It's very rare for a Japanese student to be able to go there. I'm impressed. Thanks. After the doctor left, I sighed loudly enough for Professor Linskin to hear me. So, who was that guy? The director of this hospital? The director? You just told a lie to someone that important? Oh, did I lie? I said you'll be a student starting in September, but I didn't mean this September. Or what? Do you think you don't have what it takes to make it to my school in the end? That's a little unfortunate, but... Oh. This guy's mean. He really was a little kid, completely shameless. But still, it's hard to hate him. It really is! Like, I'm okay if he's evil. I'm surprised though, I had no idea you were in Japan. It'd been 5 months since I'd seen him off at Naita. Maho's here too. Really? She didn't say a word about it. I talked to her often via email and video chat, mostly about Amadeus testing, but she hadn't said a word about coming to Japan. I hadn't heard anything about it from Krisu either. We were back in the same office at Wako City Come by any time you like and bring Chrisu. I told them to find us a different place after we got robbed last time, but Dr. Leanskin looked up through the ceiling and shrugged. I looked up towards the ceiling. It did feel like that place had security issues. I'm not feeling well, Lintaro? Did he come here for treatment? Oh no, I'm here to visit a friend. Oh, I see. That's good. Well, it's not good for your friend, I'm sorry. Oh, no. So, what are you doing at a Japanese hospital? Dr. Leanskin brought his face close to mine and whispered so that people around us couldn't hear him. You heard about the new cases, right? The American government asked our psychology, psychosociology lab to look into it, but they've hit a roadblock. The university ordered me to help with the investigation. I see. So you're helping with the new encephalitis case. So that was a word I didn't expect to hear. Now there's a word I didn't expect to hear. I explained that my friend was here because they thought she might have the disease. Your friend is named Katsame Nasuke, right? Perhaps? Oh yeah. You met her at the Christmas party, didn't you? Yeah, that's right. I'm interested in the new disease started with that party, you see. Both you and Katsumi collapsed, right? He was right, actually. In my case, I'd been sent to the other world line. I met with her again several days ago. She demanded to know why she was being sent back to the hospital when she was just fine. I see. Would you tell her it would make me happy if she was a bit more cooperative? Huh. I should feel real bad for both her and all the other patients. We and the Japanese team are doing what we can, but we don't understand the results we're getting. Dr. Leanskin's usually chipper expression darkened. The man was such a ball of vitality that I hadn't noticed until then. But when his smile disappeared, I could see the wrinkles that had formed on his face from exhaustion. He must have been working hard, like he said. To be honest, none of the doctors thought we'd have this much trouble explaining at the start. What's wrong with Intaro? Well, is there something wrong? No. I'm not a medical student, so this is outside my expertise. I was just about to tell him about my reading Steiner, but in the end, I couldn't. If my uninformed opinion was wrong, it could cost the encephalitis patients their lives. I couldn't tell him when I didn't have any proof. And then his face drew close to mine again. By the way, Katsumi was saying something very interesting. She said something about not being sick, about how she was actually experimenting in another world in her dreams. I told her not to say anything about it. Could she not help it? This was bad. I must start to doubt her sanity. Well, Nasuke's got a very vivid imagination, maybe. She loves sci-fi and anime. She's probably said that she has the power to... She probably just said she has the power to experience parallel worlds because she saw it on some show sometime. Another world which exists parallel to our own in another space-time, has the same dimensions as our own, but sometimes the people and objects within it are exactly... And sometimes the people and objects within it are in the exact same place as our own. Okay. I remember that I used to say stuff like that. I tried my best to come up with an excuse, but Dr. Leanskin seemed still seemed concerned. But still, I was really surprised when I started participating in the treatment project. One of the strange things about this illness is that many patients share the same dreams. I'm assuming it's similar to mass hallucination. But what do you think? I've never seen this before. From a brain science perspective, I don't have an answer right now. To be honest, unscientific is the word that seems to best fit, like parallel worlds or memories of a past life, you know? I see. It would help if you talked to Katsumi, too. There are some things you can't say to a doctor, but that you can tell your friends. Sure, I'll ask her, I guess. So, Lintaro, that side, I have a question for you. I kinda dread where this is going. Dr. Linskin was looking over my shoulder. I got a sense at the Christmas party, but your girlfriends are really cute, aren't they? Huh? I turned around and saw that Mayuri, Katie, and Yuki had all stood up on the sofa and were looking at me. When they saw Dr. Linskin was looking at them, they waved. So, are any of these girls involved with you right now? Yuki, Katie, Mayuri, Luca? Luca's a guy. What? His words were so surprising I couldn't think of anything to say. We need to correct the Luca thing, please. Maho would often call this middle-aged man a mysterious boy, and that was exactly the look he had on his face. No, I won't force you to tell me. I don't want to pry into your private life. But well, I hope you have something to tell my favourite student. I'd hope to have something to tell my favourite student. Dr. Linskin turned to walk away before I could figure out what he meant. Alright, Lintaro, I've got to talk to the director a little more, so I'll be going. I'd love to go around all those girls and give them a hug too, but I'll save it for next time. Tell them I say hello. Oh, sure. Luca's the boy. Bye. Mayuri and the others came over to me as I watched him go. Was that Dr. Linskin? Yeah, I knew I'd seen him before somewhere. I thought he'd gone back to America. Huh? Not green? There's no way I could tell the girls what Dr. Linskin and I were just talking about. After Fubuki's exam was over, I went to a room and listened to it complain, and then the visit was over. Just like Dr. Linskin had said, she looked just fine. She told us she was ready to leave the hospital and jog all the way home. Mayuri and the others were relieved, but I felt worried. Did I need to talk to Dr. Linskin about reading Steiner after all? But how would I explain it? It might be a better idea to talk to Maho and have her explain it to him. That might be a better idea because I trust Maho more than the doctor. I couldn't come up with an answer right away. Oh, Suzaha. It was a very hot day in 1998 when Suzaha said goodbye to Kagari's Shina. She had gone to get food and water from a local store, and when she came back and opened the hatch, Kagari was inside screaming. Come on, how does this stupid thing work? She looked inside and saw that Kagari was slamming her tiny hands down on the console controls. What are you doing? Kagari shrank back when she saw Suzaha. I'm not... This is not what it looks like. Answer me. But... I woke up and you were gone and it was dark and the lights wouldn't turn on and it was so cramped up and scary here. So I tried to open the door. And then it was filling with this... This happened. Kagari started to cry. I'm sorry, big sis Suzaha. I'm sorry, I was really scared. I see. Suzaha relaxed her guard. Kagari had PTSD from the time as a war orphan, and she hadn't fully recovered yet. Mayuri had once told her that she got very frightened in dark, cramped places. It would make sense if waking up in the dark caused a panic attack. And the time machine only functioned with Suzaha's biometric authorization. Someone of Kagari's size won't be able to break the console either. He passed out from the shock of time travel, so I wanted to let you get some rest. I'm sorry. Suzaha grabbed one of Kagari's tiny hands to help her up, and then led her outside the machine. Wow, it's so hot. Kagari, promise me that you don't touch the switches on the console controls no matter what, okay? Oh, okay. I'm going to get started. You go and rest. Have some food and water if you want. Suzaha handed Kagari the provisions she bought, then went inside and poked her head into the cargo space under the console controls. She connected the IBM 5100 she stored there to a portable terminal she bought from the future. By all appearances, it was an early 2000 cell phone, but inside was a miniaturized quantum computer from the year 2036. Of course, future Dell made it himself. Bragging much. When she booted up the IBM 5100, rows of numbers started to appear on the screen. What are you doing? Kagari was looking from outside the machine. Did you study the year 2000 problem? Y2K? The problem where all computers would supposedly have errors after the year 2000. Almost all old computers stored only the last 2 digits from the year in order to save memory. For this reason, when 1999 became 2000s, the computer data would change from 99 to 00. Since the programs were never equipped to handle this, it was thought that computers would treat the year as 1900 and malfunction. While an error with a home user's computer would not be a severe issue, a malfunction in a medical facility or military computer could cause disaster. For this reason, all these programs accessed across the world were rewritten by hand, starting in the mid-1990s. The process was successful, and July 1st, 2000 came and went without serious incident. Y2K. I remember that being a thing, and it's like, just go on by without any issue. But, because, people worked on it, I suppose. I studied a little at the orphanage. In the end, nothing happened, right? That's what everybody thinks. It wasn't made public, but at the time, a lot of places and a lot of countries had serious problems because of it. Really? The issue was this computer, the IBM 5100. It got an old programming language on it, and the engineers weren't able to fix the program. In fact, they didn't even know that the important program existed was written in this language. The race to develop the time machine was the beginning of the Third World War, but there's a chance that something that had happened during the year 2000 problems and the mission from that were a deeper cause. Right, because CERN has their database in their secret time travel database embedded in IBNs. So if they had a lot of their data lost from the Y2K bug because of that, then their progress was hindered. Oh man, this is such a mind fuck. She didn't expect a 10-year-old like Kagari to understand this, but she didn't feel like taking the time to explain. And the year 2000 is a special year, you see. All the world lines temporarily converge there. That means it's possible that the year 2000 problem has a huge effect on all the world lines. The world line in the gap that we're trying to reach, Steins Gate, is no exception. She looked down at the terminal connected to the IBM 5100. So this is a patch program to keep the year 2000 problem from ever happening. Right now, the terminal is converting the patch into the language used by the IBM 5100. So this evidently stops 7 from... I don't know what this means. The next step would be spread the program around all the world in the form of a virus. And the year 2000 problems in this area's engineers missed would be completely disappear. The word connect appeared on the terminal subscreen. Okay, it's connected. She'd been told that in Japan, in this area, ADSL was still in the test phase, and most normal users connected in the internet by low-speed dial-up using ISDN. But the major cities like Akibara University's lab and some big computer companies were starting to use fiber optic broadband. Some of them were even using wireless LANs. Wireless LAN, a method of communicating to the internet and spread/receive data without the use of cables. Local access network. Actually, that is wrong. Well, kind of wrong. Wireless LAN is basically a connection of computers within each other. So long as the wireless LAN is connected to a router, then it would be able to connect to the network, to the internet. Otherwise, it would just be a network of computers or devices within its own circle, within its own network. Anyways. For once, something I could actually comment on. A high-speed, high-capacity internet connection that uses fiber optics, also called FTTH, fiber to the home. I love that saying. I've never heard it before, but it's awesome. Instead of relying on existing phone lines, it requires a construction of new communications network. For this reason, adoption has been taken larger than ADSL. As of 2010, 25% of Japan uses FTTH. Suza checked her way into one of these, cracked her way into one of these. Dad had laughed when he said that with 2036 technology, cracking the late 20th century network security was a joke, but he was right. But if you change the future, wouldn't that change the world we're in? Surprisingly, Gary had gotten the guts gist of what Suza had just told her. That's right. I refused to let that world exist any longer, so I came here to reach Steins Gate. Suddenly, the uneasy look on Kagai's face vanished. It was as if her soul had left her body. Suddenly her face was expressionless and her eyes were wide. Voice. I can hear God's voice. Kagari? You can't do that. It's not right. You can't do that, big sis Suzaha. You can't. Huh? Kagari was acting strangely, yeah. Suspiciously, Suzaha reached her hand out towards her, but she slipped past Suzaha's hand. And quicker than any child should be able to move, she slammed her shoulder straight into Suzaha's body. Suzaha caught completely off guard at how fast it was. Kagari's shoulder hit her in the solar plexus. She bent over and clapped onto the seat. Kagari tore the terminal out of Suzaha's hand. The cables connecting to the IBM 5100 were ripped out and errors displayed on both screens. What are you doing? Kagari didn't answer the question. Instead, she grabbed the backpack that Suzaha placed on the street and spilled the contents onto the floor. There were MERs, spare parts, clothes, and a semi-automatic pistol. Suzaha couldn't believe it. Kagari was going to try and pick it up. Stop it! Suzaha forced herself to ignore the pain as she jumped on Kagari's body. But another unbelievable, powerful body slam knocked her back. Something cold was pushed right against her brow. Don't move. Kagari's tiny hands weren't shaking at all as they clutched the semi-automatic pistol. In the space of an instant, the safety on the gun had been flipped off. That's when Suzuha realized this wasn't a temper tantrum. Suzuha was the one who taught her how to use a gun. That's why she knew that Kagari was perfectly calm. Are you insane? Put the gun down now. Stop doing this. You're the one who needs to stop. What? You can't change the world. You're not making sense. So I guess that's why Sen was slightly crippled still, because the IBN problems, Y2K problems still happened to them? Maybe? There was no hesitation in her eyes. Instead, Suzuha saw only resolve. Do you want the war to happen then? I don't know anything about that. I just want to go back to my old world. Then that's never gonna happen. Where do you use the time machine to interfere with the past? The world lines changed. There's almost no chance we can go back. Shut up! Shut up! I'm going to save Mami. This is going to save her, you stupid child. Can't erase this world. I won't let you. Kagari turned the gun towards the IBN 5100. Stop! Okay, that was a lot of shots. Before Suzuha could stop her, she yanked down on the trigger. Again and again. Stop it, Kagari! Please stop! And then Kagari jumped out of the time machine. And Suzuha never saw her again. On every night that passed, she remembered Kagari. Suzuha had spent some time looking for Kagari when she first came to this area, but in the end, she never found anything. But Kagari Shina, who was now 22 years old, was here in Akibara. Suzuha was sure of it. But it did no good to keep thinking about it. So Suzuha decided to stop thinking and look around the room. No, sleeveless. Itaru, her dad, was playing yet another game populated entirely with female characters. His jaw was slack, and he was scratching the belly fat that stuck out from under his shirt as he played. There wasn't much to respect in him right now, either as a father or as a person. Ouch. Come to think of it, how are things with Mom? Is everything okay? I'm still going to be born, right? Well... Is that more important than the time machine? Hey! Suzuha stormed over to Itaru. You can't screw this up, Dad. Yeah, Daddy's gotta do his best, okay. All you ever do is talk. You even wasted those movie tickets we gave you, didn't you? She meant the pair of movie tickets that Mario and First had conspired to give them at the Christmas party. That was because Ocarina and Miss Fubuki collapsed, you know. We were so busy with hospital visits and stuff that the movie left the theatre. It's not like it was my fault. But I heard that when they tried to give you new tickets, you turned them down. Who told you that? Big Sis Mayuri and Big Sis Rumi, obviously. That's because, you know, it's not very manly to make the two of them do all the work, is it? So, did you go and do something yourself? This isn't gonna work. Maybe this was a more important problem than the time machine. Suzuha brought her hands to her head. Listen, Dad. I'm not going to be around to lecture you like this forever, okay? I'm leaving soon. Oh. Suddenly, there was a sad look in Taru's eyes. Don't make that face. I promise I'll stop worried about it. For the past 6 months, Suzuha had been thinking about whether it was really right to erase this world. But in the end, it was none other than Itaru who pushed her to go ahead. I'm sorry. She couldn't bear to see her father so depressed, so she patted his broad back. Don't just sit there and be glum. Send Mom a message and see if she's free sometime. And if she is, invite her to a movie. Yeah, this is way too sudden. I don't care if it's sudden or not. Do it anyways, okay? That's an order. An order? What's your answer? Sir? Yes, sir. Satisfied, she headed off to take a shower. Oh, but before that, I'm going to hit the convenience store. Don't glare at me like that. I'll eat as healthy as I can, so please forgive me. Vanilla. Huh? I want ice cream when I'm done with my shower. Vanilla ice cream. Okay, I'll buy you a lot of really top shelf stuff. It doesn't have to be a lot, just one thing is fine. Sir, yes sir. That was enough to cheer Dao up as he took his wallet and ran out of the lab. He's such a handful. Dao is awesome. Why is everyone so mean to Dao? God damn it. God damn it. She had just about taken off her jacket so she could take that shower, but... Suzuha. Itaru came back into the lab. What is it? I found this on the stairs. Oh. Itaru showed her a keychain she was holding. Wait. Itaru showed her a keychain he was holding. Ooh. It was a round anime character whose colour had faded to a smoky green. It was an Upa. Do you know whose this is? Big Sis Mayuri's probably? She leaned forward to take a closer look, and then she felt like she was experiencing deja vu. I've seen this Upa somewhere before. She'd seen it before? She couldn't really remember when, but her internal alarms were going off. This keychain was extremely important. Upas were common enough that you could find them anywhere. The plastic edges had worn down, the paint was faded and coming off in places. There was no dust and there were no stains. Instead, it shone brightly as if the owner had put a lot of effort into taking good care of it. The chain was so old that part of it had snapped off. That was probably how it got dropped. Where was it? I've seen this before. Did Mayushi show it to you? I don't know. She stared at the green Upa in Itaru's hands. But then in her mind, she heard a young girl scream. This is Mommy's Upa keychain. I'm giving it to you. Take good care of it, okay? That's a giant-ass keychain, by the way. I know Kagai's hands are small there, but even so. She gasped. A feeling of undescribable terror raced down her spine. This can't be. Kagai's? That's when she last seen it. August 13th, 2036. The day she'd gone in the time machine. That's when she'd seen this Upa. It was older and more worn now, but it was more that she remembered the day. But the more she remembered that day, the more certain she became. This was the Upa that Mayu had given to Kagami. She'd seen Kagami holding it and crying to herself many times before. Kagai, you mean future Miss Mayu's daughter? Yeah. Did you find her? No, but she knows where I am. What do you mean? She's watching this lab. Satisfied, she headed off to take a shower. Ever since then, her careful efforts to defend the time machine had paid off. She hadn't seen any sign of Kagami, but she'd never thought she'd be watching the lab. No. It would have been obvious if I'd given it any thought. She's trying to stop us from reaching the science gate. She doesn't want this world to end. which means she's watching not just me, but you too? Huh? Me? Well, I don't think your life's in danger, probably. If you believe what we know how the world's lines work, you live till at least 2036. But she might come to interfere with your research so we can't reach Steins Gate. A lot of bad things have been happening around Suzaha, Itaru and Okabe Minato. There was some possibility that the final target was Itaru. From now on, just be safe. Lock the door whenever I'm not around. Okay, got it. Even if Uncle Ocarine, Mom or Big Sis is Mayu is here, don't leave it open. It might not help much, but make sure you use the door chain too. You know, Ocarina and Mayoshi are one thing, but if I did that when I was alone with Amashi, don't you think I'll give her the wrong idea? That's true. If it makes her not like me, my whole family could be in trouble. Suza groaned softly, unsure on what to do. If only you'd gone to be her boyfriend sooner, there wouldn't be a problem. Wait, we're back to that? Just be careful, okay? Suza decided to keep the green Upa keychain. She softly ran her fingertips over it and stared as she stared at it. Hey, Suzaha, Kagari-tan's not related to Maiju, but she's still her daughter, right? That's right. Could someone raised by Maiju grow up to be the kind of person who insults someone? I just can't imagine it. From what you've told me, I expect her to be a kind, easygoing and cute little girl. I wish that's what had happened. Yeah. I thought that's how she turned out too. But now she's probably... From what she's seen at the radio building, she could tell Kagari definitely received professional combat training. It wasn't just the simple self-defense techniques that she'd learned from Suzaha when she was a child. She'd grown up. As she'd grown up, she'd been taught the core techniques of a killer. There's no way to know where she'd been or what she'd been doing ever since she gone missing in 1998. There's no doubt in Suza's mind that she was trying to ruin her plans. Suza sighed as she took her shower. And with this shower scene up ahead, we're going to end this episode. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.